Hey, it's Carl again, Slick Rooster Studio. Doing some more playing around with the Prang Oval-8 Watercolor Set. I want to do a ACEO again tonight. I'm going to do a little line and wash work, and I thought I'd bring out a couple of different materials to kind of show you. Uh, the line and wash doesn't always have to mean, ink and wash. Ink and wash is typically with a pen, uh, usually waterproof ink. Lay your line work out first, and then wash over it with your paint colors. Um, I tend to favor fountain pens. I really like. This is a Platinum Preppy. I have a lot of fountain pens. Um, Expensive, cheap, comes down to you know your own preferences. And honestly, this is a cheap fountain pen. Um, but the nib is fantastic. It's very versatile. Uh, you can get thick lines, thin lines. It doesn't dry out. I've had it sitting around for 6 months at a time. Pop it open and it just starts flowing again immediately. So it's very impressive for the price point. I replaced it. The cartridge that it came with was a just a cheap black ink. This is now Platinum's carbon ink, which is waterproof, carbon-based ink. Uh, it's a great ink for laying down, especially on watercolor paper or absorbent papers. It dries very fast and is waterproof. So a lot of times I will, if I'm trying to be very precise, I will sketch something out with a pencil first, uh, just to kind of make sure that I get the lines that I want down, and then I'll go over it with a fountain pen or an ink, any particular kind of ink, and then go back and erase the pencil lines before I start painting. Um, so just, yeah, rudimentary lines at first with the pencil, and then go back in and line it out with the pen, trying to some economy of movement so you don't have a bunch of extra lines in your final painting, unless that's the look you're trying to get. So again, this is the Platinum Preppy with Platinum carbon ink in it. Uh, they Platinum makes an actual carbon ink fountain pen. It's a bit more expensive. I think they're 8 or 10 or 12 bucks, something like that. Uh, whereas these, I mean, I think I got 6 of them for $15, all different colors. Uh, you've seen a lot of artists on even on YouTube do this kind of painting uh, with the ink and wash. It's I won't say it's definitely an art form. Um, very graphic novel, comic book kind of a look, I feel. I really like it. It's got its place. Suits itself well, obviously, with watercolors or any transparent medium. Uh, in the end, I mean, it just depends on what you're looking to do. One of the reasons I like, sidebar here, one of the reasons I like the fountain pen is you can use it, you know, just holding it regular, and you can press harder and get thicker lines. You can turn it over and get very thin lines with it. Uh, it's super versatile. Whereas a roller ball type, also very good pen. Little more difficult to get fine lines out of it. You'll feel it scratching the paper as you lay it over or try to touch lightly. Um, but also very viable tool for doing hard lines like that. And then obviously you go back in and color out your drawings, that fountain pen's still a little wet. Normally that ink is rock solid waterproof. Um, but I don't mind the dark, the kind of a ghosty gray that it gets when you run in like that, and it washes out a little bit, kind of gives it some drama. Kind of giving it a warm, the building kind of a warm face since the sunshine's coming from this direction, uh, which is what I just decided. That's the direction my light source is coming from. And again, this Prang set is great for doing stuff like this. Just quick studies out in the field, and the colors that it comes with, uh, plenty versatile. You can mix and get just about any color that you want. That's a real orange roof that was supposed to be rusty colored. Well, yeah, that's real brown. And that'll work. Mimic that color down here. Yeah, we need that same warmth on the face of the little side shed there. And we need a little shade on that side. And I'm going to blow dry that before it moves all over the place. I added a lot of color and a lot of different planes without allowing them to dry. So they sort of work into each other. But Prang also has it's a fairly good liftability. Uh, you can kind of scrub the color off after it's dry, and wet it down, lift it, wet it down, and lift it. I can enhance the shadow work there. I do like the ink and wash. I think it's a neat technique. You can play it real precise, or you can be kind of sloppy with it, like what I'm doing. I kind of like this way a little better, a little more energetic. And once you've laid in your initial washes like that, you can still go back, and fill in here and there if you need to. You can do shading with the pen, or you can do it with the paint itself. Yeah. Uh, that is one particular way that you can get in and do the line and wash technique. I tend to prefer using uh, colored pencils, well, watercolor pencils, uh, over the pen and wash. I mean, this is nice too, but I I like the look that you get using watercolor pencil. I mean, there's any number. This is Albert Durr, fairly expensive brand, very high quality. Uh, this is Derwent ink tints. This is sepia ink color. It's kind of a dark brown or black brown. Uh, this is I call it ink based. I don't know. It's they're kind of their own animal as far as watercolor pencils go. I really like them a lot. They're intense, hence the name. Uh, a little bit goes a long way with these. They get very vibrant when you wash out the color and activate the pigment. Um, they you can work with them to where they leave behind some of that the mark from the initial stroke. I really like that about them. A lot of the watercolor pencils, for example, you can very easily just wash away the line altogether without intending to. And this is because they're very soft and also super vibrant um, watercolor pencil, which why they're more expensive. Uh, those are nice as well, but you don't get the same. I guess it's a granulation that I like about the ink tints. If you don't play with it, it it leaves like a feathery kind of effect. Uh, but again, I mean, it comes down to personal preference. This is a Reeves watercolor pencil. This is one of the cheapest on the planet, um, or at least it was. There's a lot of Chinese stuff coming out now. Arteza has some pretty good pencils. They sort of look like these. They're sort of trying to emulate these. I've got a bunch of them around here somewhere, but they do not dissolve as well, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Um, there's there's one. It's a purple one or whatever, but you can see how they've modeled it after the Dur uh, pencils. And they're very nice. They're a soft pencil, so they lay down nicely, but it takes a bit to, I mean, to just compared to the Dur, they're very non, they don't dissolve as well. The Dur, I mean, is just crazy soft. It just kind of explodes under your brush. Though the Reeves actually is even better than the Arteza. Now this is an old set of Reeves. I've had these for probably 10 years. Um, I won't speak to their light fastness, but they do dissolve all the way away. This is a gray one. It's not black. That's why it's not so intense on the pigment. But trying to get that same functionality from the Arteza, they're just not. They don't dissolve as well. Again, that's not a bad thing. Some people appreciate that about them, but overall, I appreciate the. I'm very appreciative. I like the Inktense pencils for doing this kind of work. With the Durers being a close second. I've also got some dissolvable, water-soluble graphite. It's pretty neat too, but it washes away to nothing, uh, and kind of muddies up the painting. So for doing this same kind of a thing with this pencil, with the Inktense, uh, you get a look it's hard to replicate with anything else. And experimenting with multiple colors. I like the sepia ink a lot. It adds a good bit of drama to whatever particular type of piece I'm working on. I mostly do landscapes, so the drama factors kind of a kind of a neat add. But they lay down quickly, and once they've been dissolved, um, they are water resistant, which is not something you get with the other one. That's a really unique thing for a watercolor pencil. I think it's only with the Inktense that you see that. Um, so I like to wash my color in as I'm knocking down the watercolor pencil. You kind of get a nice blend in there. You leave some of the raw pencil mark. It's kind of cool. Uh, I think it's a neat look. That's awful dark. Get some of that out of there. And so without, I'm not even probably going to add any color to the face, the sunshine side of the building. Um, I'll add some warm in there near the ground where it would be reflecting up onto if that's a white building. I'm going to activate the windows a little bit. Activate the shady side of the little build out there. Oh, need some rust on that roof. Oops, there I blossomed down into my color. That's okay. That's the joys of watercolor. Adding some blue in there to kind of neutralize that brown some. Make it a little more of a shadow type color. All right, I'm gonna hit that with a dryer real quick before it starts heading all over the place. I like the pencil because you can use just as much of the original line that you want to, but you can also wash it away. Whereas with the pen, once you put that line on there, that line it's not going away. There's no nice scrubbing. That's a permanent line. Uh, the pencil's more forgiving. You can leave it as an outline fill in kind of a thing, line and wash, or you can scrub the lines into the color or away from the object, and you can get a lot more realism that way. So I don't know if you can see the two of those together. Um, I prefer this kind of look. You can get a lot more painterly effect out of it. Um, and once that color's been wet, when you go back over it with watercolor or water or whatever, um, it's not gonna move that dark brown color anymore or whatever color you happen to be using with the ink tints. It's interesting interesting characteristics from those pencils, and I like them a lot. I have read about some light fast issues. Um, they don't hold up well, being ink based, I guess. They don't hold up as well as say the Durers or Derwent's archival quality stuff, museum quality or whatever their gimmicky thing is that they got going right now. Museum quality, I guess it is. Um, but for using a sketching pencil that will dissolve and play with your watercolors, I really do like I do like the ink tints. Sorry, I'm trying to get the both of both of those situations there focused up. Both are interesting. I like just doing watercolor without a line drawing as well. Uh, but this adds some versatility to the Prang set. I'm gonna go ahead and paint a little ACEO size thing with this, just because I got everything out, and why not? This little ACEO frame is just I think it was a Strathmore illustration board that I just cut out with an X-Acto knife, traced a baseball card onto it, which is 2.5 inches this way and 3.5 this way. I've got I keep a bunch of these things around just when I'm even painting anything larger. If something goes wrong, I can always run that thing around on it and draw out squares and cut them out, and I get ACEOs out of it. Um, so for a quick line drawing, we'll just do something similar to what we did over there, and even even here. I mean, I could salvage this into an ACEO painting if I wanted to, uh, but and I may still do that. But for right now, I'm gonna sharpen this pencil up. It's a little dull, and I will paint a picture for you. I'm gonna I'm gonna click away and do some painting for you. I'll put on some music. right, so there we go. Nice little ACEO. Yeah, got a little busy. Whatever. It's fun to do. Once again, Prang Oval-8 and Inktense sepia ink for the line work. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Take care.